Steve Fossett was no ordinary adventurer. From ballooning and sailing to flying solo around the world, Steve achieved extraordinary feats that pushed the boundaries of what seemed possible. His fearless pursuit for exploration inspired countless others, making him a legend in his own time. But on the morning of September 3, 2007, Steve prepared for what seemed like a routine flight, but something went terribly wrong. What followed was one of the most puzzling aviation mysteries in recent history. He was flying a Bellanca 8K CAB 180 Super Decathlon, a nimble single-engine plane designed for aerobatics and short flights. While ideal for quick scouting trips like the one Steve had planned, the aircraft was not built to handle extreme weather conditions. In remote terrain, even minor mechanical issues or sudden strong winds could become significant challenges for such a plane. Steve took off from the Flying M Ranch in Nevada, a location known for its pristine airstrips and wide desert skies. The ranch was one of Steve's favorite places to fly. The plan was straightforward: a short flight over the Nevada desert to scout dry lake beds that could potentially be used for land speed records. However, there is some ambiguity about the purpose of the flight. While some sources suggest this, Steve's wife described it as a leisure flight. Steve was always searching for his next record-breaking idea and saw this as another step in his adventurous journey. The weather was calm and the skies were clear, perfect conditions for flying. However, shortly after takeoff, something went wrong. Without a filed flight plan, a common practice for short private flights, no one knew exactly where Steve had gone. Flying over vast wilderness without a predetermined route introduced additional risks. Even a seasoned pilot like Steve could face disorientation in such an environment, especially if unexpected turbulence or a sudden change in direction forced him off course. This uncertainty made the situation all the more perilous. By evening, when Steve failed to return, his friends and colleagues alerted authorities. This marked the start of one of the largest search operations in modern aviation history, pushing the limits of search and rescue technology. With every passing day, the mystery deepened. How could someone as skilled and experienced as Steve vanish so completely? As hours turned into days with no trace of Steve's plane, the reality of his disappearance set in, triggering one of the largest and most intense search efforts in aviation history. Investigators worked tirelessly to locate him and uncover what might have gone wrong. Despite Steve's reputation as an exceptional pilot, the disbelief that someone of his skill and experience could simply vanish fueled both speculation and determination. However, the wilderness is unforgiving, and even a minor miscalculation, combined with harsh conditions, can escalate rapidly. These factors added urgency to the search and deepened the mystery surrounding his disappearance. The Sierra Nevada mountains, where Steve was last seen, are infamous for their rugged terrain and unpredictable weather. While reports suggested clear skies that day, the NTSB noted specific weather conditions that might have contributed to the accident. Sudden gusts of wind, turbulence, and high-density altitude at the crash site presented significant challenges for even the most experienced pilots. The vastness and remoteness of the wilderness only compounded the difficulty of both navigating the area and conducting search efforts. Despite their best efforts, search teams were unable to find any trace of Steve or his plane. As weeks turned into months, without any significant leads, the uncertainty took a heavy toll on Steve's loved ones. In November 2007, his wife Peggy made the difficult decision to petition the court to declare Steve legally dead. This step, while heartbreaking, reflecting on this decision, Peggy stated, "As anyone can imagine, this is a difficult day for our family. We will continue to grieve and heal, but after nearly 3 months, we feel now that we must accept that Steve did not survive." In September 2008, after more than a year of searching, a hiker in the Ansel Adams Wilderness in California discovered a collection of personal items, including Steve's ID card. This discovery reignited the search and provided investigators with their first significant lead in months. A few days later, aerial search teams located the wreckage of Steve's plane on a steep and isolated mountainside. The crash site, hidden in rugged terrain, had been missed during earlier searches. The plane was severely damaged, with debris scattered across the area. confirming the devastating impact of the crash. Following the discovery of the wreckage, the National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB, launched an investigation into the accident. Their findings revealed a combination of environmental and human factors that likely led to the crash. The NTSB report revealed that Steve's plane likely encountered a sudden, strong downdraft. According to the report, downdrafts in the Sierra Nevada can exceed descent rates of 1,000 feet per minute, which can overwhelm even well-maintained small planes like Steve's. These powerful air currents can push a plane downward faster than it can climb, leaving the pilot with little time to respond. Another key factor was the high-density altitude at the crash site, estimated at 12,700 feet. This altitude reduces an aircraft's performance, making it harder to gain lift or climb effectively. When combined with the downdraft, Steve would have had few options to regain control. Investigators also noted a likely altimeter error, potentially caused by high-density altitude and mechanical limitations, which may have led Steve to misjudge his altitude relative to the terrain. This, in combination with strong downdrafts and the rugged mountain conditions, created a scenario with little margin for error. The discovery of the wreckage offered closure and underscored the unforgiving nature of the wilderness. Peggy Fossett later stated, "I hope now to be able to bring to closure a very painful chapter in my life. I prefer to think about Steve's life rather than his death, and celebrate his many extraordinary accomplishments." An autopsy conducted on skeletal remains identified as Steve concluded that the cause of death was severe traumatic injuries from the impact. Even with Steve's exceptional skills and vast experience, the combination of natural forces and minor miscalculations proved insurmountable. His loss serves as a reminder of both the risks of exploration and the power of nature. While the discovery of the crash site brought some answers, questions remain about what exactly happened in those final moments. What lessons do you think we can learn from Steve Fossett's story? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more stories.